Especially, all right, you're my guy. All right,
Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
How excited are you to actually play after not getting to play in the preseason?
I'm super excited to obviously get back out there to play ball again. Just, it's everything you've worked for all off season, is to play this game and just to get back out with your guys and just enjoy it. It's a gift to be able to play. It's a gift to be able to play this position this long. It's going in my 10th year. It's a blessing. I got a lot longer to go. I believe I got another, 13 years left to go in my head. So, maybe more. I don't know. Who knows? But I think that I think more than anything else, man, I love the process. I love the process of preparing. I love the process of winning. And that's been my mentality all off season. I'm ready to roll, excited, and our guys are pumped up too.
He told us a couple times how excited he is for everyone else to kind of see this new offense unveiled a little bit. Is there there's just kind of a general curiosity about what does this game look like? Does it feel like a bit of a fresh start for you in that regard, to be able to kind of have something brand new and a bit of a secret, a little bit of a curiosity for everyone to kind of find out?
Well, I think that for us this year is we want to execute in every way, in all the different ways we can do it. We got a great offense, we got great offensive weapons, we got a great line up front, we got running backs, we got a lot of things that we can do. So for us, it's using all of our versatility and using it at a high level. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what we can bring to the table. At the end of the day, all the practice, all the preparing, that's what leads up to the game. And we're here. And the good thing is we get to go perform it and put on a show, hopefully, and just throughout the whole season. And so I think that's just kind of our mentality, and hopefully we can be the best offense in football.
Russ, upon reflection now, after you've seen the changes made to the Seahawks offense, you've seen what Waldron can do you look back on the events of February as a net positive, or could you have done without the drama?
I think that the whole thing got a little bit confused and everything else. I think for us, though, like I said to you guys a long time ago, I'm excited to be here, excited to be ready to play, to go perform. My standard every day is to win. I wake up every day for that. I wake up every day to put my cleats on and go prepare that way. I mean, waking up at 4:30 in the morning every morning in the off season, that's the only option. And so I think that for me, I'm excited about being with these guys and what we can do. Like I just mentioned, I think that we have a great opportunity to be really special this year. And my dad used to always say potential doesn't mean anything because you haven't done it yet. So we gotta do it again. We gotta do it better than we've ever done it before. And that's the only way I think.
Aside from maybe wins, what are some other individual stats that you like to perform well in every year as a quarterback?
I think the most important one is winning, obviously. It's the only thing, All the rest, if we're winning, I'm doing my part. That's just, and I think that's how I've always looked at this, opportunity to play this position and play this game. And you have to play in arguably the best organization in all of sports. And so, for me, that's the only thing that really matters. And I know for me, that's what I'm excited about because I know we got the guys that we can do it with. And so I'm just glad to be a part of it and lead them and have a lot of fun while doing it.
What does it mean to have Dwayne back out there in practice? Does it feel any different with him on the field?
Yeah, to have Dwayne back out there, I mean, in my opinion, I think he's the best left tackle in football. I think that what he can do, his versatility, how he can get on the edge, how he's physical, how he can pass protect the way he always has since the moment he's gotten here, really his whole career. He's an all-pro player. He's a guy that's been Pro Bowler several times. He's a guy that you trust. He's a guy that can man up and play ball, against the best. So you love what he brings to the table. He brings attitude. He's a Virginia guy, he brings attitude every day. And so I just love who he is, how he's dedicated to the process. Nobody dedicates themselves more, in my position, in my view, in terms of offensive line. When you think about his position and how long he's been doing it for, that's it's pretty amazing. And so he looks better than ever. He's moving unbelievably well. I told you guys he's been doing those 20 pull-ups every day, 3, 4, 5 sets. So I think he's ready to go. So you don't have to worry about Dwayne Brown.
With the weighted vest, too?
Yeah, with 2 weighted vests.
What's it been like having Tater back?
To have Tater back, Coach Smith, he's to have so much experience, to have so much knowledge of the game, have so much understanding. His mind, how he processes the game, how he understands it all, how he communicates to everyone, how he keeps things, super clear, simple, but also at a high level. It's something that, Tater's, in my opinion, one of the best in the world at it. He's been in this game for so long. And, I was fortunate to have an unbelievable quarterback coach in Tater, and Coach Carl Smith, for so long, my first few years. And so it was a blessing to be around somebody that could give so much wisdom daily, not just on the field. I mean, the field stuff, the end of the game situations. How many times we watched 2-minute situations, game on the line, all the way back to Joe Montana and such, to so many other moments. All those times we've watched all that, the history of the game. I love knowing the history of the game. I love learning as much as I can about the history of it all. And so Tater's been able to show me that along the way. So to have him back in the building to bring such established understanding and philosophy to the game is so great, and that's great for our coaches. It's great for the players. It's fun. So he's been one of my best friends in the world for a long time, and to have him back is really cool.
What were your early impressions of him when you met him as a rookie?
Well, when I first met him, I was like, he looked like an artist, like, a painter or something, and he's just so, he's cool, calm, and collected, man. Tater's cool, calm, and collected. I loved how, I was a guy who always kind of tried to be positive and think through things and everything else, and we kind of matched that same energy and same thought process. And this game it brings so much great pressure. I say great pressure because if you look forward to it, if you love it, it's great, because it's going to mold you to be the best version of yourself. And I think the thing that Tater was able to do for me early on in my career was for me to reconfirm that daily, who I was going to be and what I'm going to be and where I'm going. And so I love Tater. He's been the best.
Do you remember what version of the Tater nickname story he gave you at the time, where the nickname came?
Yeah, that one's I think for in between me and Tater. Yeah, but that's Tater's been a legend for a long time.
Pete said yesterday, I think he used the phrase you have some special juice about you that he's seen so far in camp this year. I guess you know what he was referring to, or do you feel that at all?
Yeah, I feel it. I'm ready to play. I think for me, listen, I know that every day you wake up, you get to do something special. God's given me a gift. I just want to use it all. I want to use it all. And that's just really, the coolest part about what I get to do. And at the end of the day, I also know, too, I lay it all on the line every day. I don't think anybody works harder daily, mentally, physically, on what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. And, you can set that standard for yourself. And I get to choose that every day. It's a choice. And, your lifestyle can't be random. It's got to be planned out. It's got to be thought through. Your lifestyle's got to be winning habits, And so for me, I just want to bring that to the table every day, not just for me, but for this organization, for all the guys around me and everything else, and for my family, for everybody. And at the end of the day, I want to put on a show every game, every moment, every practice. It's not just in the game; it's in practice too. So that's just been my mentality in the weight room, all off season training with the guys. I remember how much fun we had in San Diego, all the fellas coming down and spending so much time together. We did that in smaller pods, smaller groups at first, and then we kind of did it as we got closer and closer. We spent a lot of quality time, deep conversations together about what was going to take and what we're going to do and how we're going to prepare. So I think we're ready and we're excited to play ball and going against a great team, obviously. And so I'm excited for this season, and I'm zoned in.
As you've gotten to know Shane, what are some things or one thing that has stood out to you that you didn't realize when you first started talking to him?
Yeah, I think he's a wizard. I think he really understands what he wants to get to. I think he's got a great opportunity to be special, coaching, in this game for a long time. I think that he's calm. He brings confidence to himself and to the guys and everything else. And I think that he's thoroughly enjoying it. He's a Pacific Northwest guy. He enjoys it. He loves some Damian Lillard. He loves the Blazers. He loves, so he's a Seattle guy. So in a way, so it's fun. And I think he's really excited about it. I'm excited to be working with him every day. And all the coaches really. It's going to be a great year, I think, and we just got to go for it.
Russ, we've watched over the years as NFL quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady have leveraged their accomplishments into a real business force and controlling their own destinies. How different is that from when you started as a rookie quarterback, and what does it mean to you to have the quarterback be such a position of eminence, not only just playing, but also from a business perspective?
I don't think the game's changed that much. I mean, I think obviously social media and all that stuff in terms of business and things. Everything happens so fast nowadays. But I think the quarterback position is the hardest position in the world. In terms of sports, the stuff that you have to know, the leadership, all the things that people don't understand you have to do every day. And so I think that's why it's one of the most cherished positions. That's why I think. It's one of the most cherished positions because it's so difficult, and people either love you or they hate you. That's just the reality. And if you care either way, then it's going to bother you. But if you just do it for your family, and do it for those around you, your teammates and such, and know that you got to be zoned in and locked in every day, and then great things are going to happen. And I think for me. Coming in as a rookie, going to your question a little bit, Art, is coming as a rookie, it's, and going into my 10th year and going into the rest of my career, the reality is, I've always kept the main thing the main thing. The main thing's always been winning, and that's just, the moment I flew here, I remember flying over Seattle, the goal was to win multiple championships, still the same goal. And so I think that everything, I've done from Seattle Children's Hospital to business things as well, to just loving life here in Seattle. It's been special because when you put all the work in, I believe that Derek Jeter said in his speech last night is one of the things that his mom told him, and I think back to my mom, and all the things she told me and different things. But the one thing I think my mom always told me is you gotta have great faith. I think at the end of the day, I've always had great faith. I've always had great faith in God. I've always had great faith in those around me. I've had great faith in myself. And I think the second thing to that, going back to what Derek Jeter talked about, though, is he mentioned how his mom, always told him that, if you work hard for it, anything's possible, So I've worked hard for it, So I'm gonna keep working.
When you watch games for fun, did your eyes just go straight to the quarterback?
No, I watched the paint. In basketball, they talk about the paint, when they talk about guys watching film in basketball, really you want to watch the paint as a point guard in a way. So for me, I kind of just watch the whole area. Yeah, of course I watch the quarterback, but, as I'm watching film and stuff like that, I try to see the whole thing, see the whole picture. And so that's something that I've always known and learned and just studied. And then, you watch specifics as well. You watch certain guys and this and that. And I love watching sports, man. You see me, I was at my sister's basketball games. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm cheering every play. I'm in it. I feel like I helped win the national championship. I didn't do nothing. So, anytime I'm watching a game or any moment, baseball, I watch teams play. It's, what would I have done in that moment? What would you done in that pitch or whatever? And so, I feel like I've gotten so many reps in sports and just experience of that. One, because I've played a lot of football and games, but also baseball and basketball, and been around some great athletes in the world. Some of the greatest. It's been cool to continue to learn just about sports, about the game, about winning and what it takes. And so it's been a cool journey, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of it.
Be one of those guys in the paint. What does he bring to an already experienced defensive line for Indy?
Well, I think Darius is one of the best players in football, obviously. He's really special, man. Just watching his film, his highlights, it's crazy to see all the things he can do, man. It's pretty spectacular to watch him. Talking about watching guys, and watching teams, and anytime the Colts are on, you want to watch him play, so it's cool, so yeah, I know it'll be a great battle. Got a lot of respect for him and really all those guys. Those guys are really talented. They've had a great year last year, so they got a lot of things that they can do. So we got to be ready. Got to be on our A game and play great ball.
In the couple weeks since D. Eskridge has been out there, what have you seen from him, and how big of an impact do you think he can make right now?
Well, I think D's super sharp. He gets here every morning with me, working early. I think he's going to be a great football player for a long time. But you know, his habits, you know, are going to precede his success. You know, just that's what it is. He's got great habits, and so I'm looking forward to what he's going to do. I already know he's going to do great.
As a fan of sports, is there anyone you've been like super excited to meet, an athlete, you know, that you've watched and enjoyed?
You know, some of my favorite athletes I've ever met. You know, I think about when I was a young kid. I used to love Joe Montana. I used to love watching him. You know, and so I've gotten to be around him several times. And I think about guys like Michael Jordan. Got to be around him several times, a bunch of times, really. You know, I think about Derek Jeter. He was my favorite baseball player. Him and Ken Griffey Jr. Both of those guys are great guys and know the game and love the game and just did it the right way. You know. And then I love watching Kobe Bryant. You know, he was my. If you thought about somebody that was so clutch, you know, obviously think about Michael, and you think about Kobe Bryant. You know, if he had the ball in his hands, every time he shot it, you just felt like they were going to win. You felt like he was going to hit it. You know, and so that's what I loved about him.
Have you ever looked up and read much about Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've definitely looked up Muhammad Ali, read a bunch about him, and my grandfather was, he's no longer living, but he passed away, you know, almost 2 years ago. But you know, he was actually pretty close with Muhammad Ali, you know. So yeah, so I think that I definitely know a little bit about Muhammad Ali.
What's your big takeaway from his life and time?
Well, I think first of all, one of the greatest boxers of all time. I thought he stood for the right things. I thought he was an entertainer, that's for sure. You know, he knew how to perform, you know, in the most chaotic places, in the most chaotic states. You know, and I think that he's a world figure. He's a guy who helped change sports history. You know, so it's pretty cool. I've gotten to meet him before, Muhammad Ali, be around him. I got to go. I was fortunate and blessed enough to get the Muhammad Ali Award at a ceremony, and that was pretty cool. You know, it was probably 7 years ago or so. So yeah, there's I think it was about 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. But yeah, it's been yeah, I know a good amount.
How'd your grandfather know him?
Yeah, that's a long story question. But basically, they got to know each other. My grandfather was president of Norfolk State for a long, long time, 22 plus years. He was a great figure in education, but also sports. Just he was a bolsterous man. I think those two enjoyed each other. That's for sure. Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.
First time, so.
What did you first think when you saw like you had a basketball hoop in the music?
It's funny, man. I've heard a lot of stories, you know, before I got traded here, that they, you know, shoot some hoops. I didn't believe it. But yes, we do have a basketball goal in our team room, and we have a lot of fun. Come on, man. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have you done the contest with somebody against?
Absolutely.
Who'd you go against?
It's been a you know, a lot of teammates I've went up against, but
How's your record?
I think I'm in a winning column. You know what I mean? I've lost some. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Maybe two, but maybe a little bit more. But it was good, man. It's exciting to come in here and just have fun and compete. That's what it's all about.
What are you looking forward to showing most in the second year with this team and this defense?
Just the growth, as far as just knowing the defense and knowing my assignment, executing my job at a high level at all times, and this offseason and the time that before the contract, it helped me in so many ways, just mentally, seeing everything from a different standpoint, and understanding what people are doing around me, to where I can make a jump on a ball, or knowing if a play's coming, or knowing where my hook dropper is or where my corner is, certain things like that, that just, lets me play faster. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
And by people around you, you mean your teammates around you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What are they going to ask you to do differently this year that they didn't ask you to do last year?
No, it's still going to be the same. A little bit of everything, just flying around the ball, making plays, and, communicating with my teammates at a high level, and being that leader in the back end with Diggs, of course. And that's what we're looking forward to, man.
You obviously took exception. There's a lot of talk about your coverage skills, and something obviously you took exception to last season.
Right.
You seem like the type of guy where somebody brings up a point like that you're eager to sort of prove them wrong.
I mean, yeah.
Is that accurate? And I guess is that something where coming into the season
I mean,
you feel like
yeah. I mean, it's not something that I need to prove. You know what I mean? Just kind of like turn the tape on from the previous years and what I've done. Obviously, I had a lot of injuries, but that's no excuse for me. But I'm never trying to prove other people wrong. I'm always trying to prove myself right, and going out there and doing what I can, as far as doing my job to the best of my ability, to help the team win, because that's the ultimate goal.
There was so much talk, obviously, in the offseason about the contracts and all that, too.
Right.
But from a football point of view, what was your offseason like? What were you focused on after you felt like it, at least?
Well, yeah, that was the first thing, is getting healthy, and just getting back to the basics, getting back to the fundamentals, and just correcting certain little things and nuggets that I use, and also just getting better in every aspect of my game. That's what I'm always about every year, every offseason. Just trying to elevate my game as much as possible.
You had never really been hurt all that much, going back to college your first 3 years. How
Right.
hard was that, dealing with everything you dealt with last year?
Right. Yeah, I was, that was the first time last year. And, after 1 year, you called injury prone. So I've never been hurt. So that was new for me. But, it just mentally, it challenged me in a lot of ways. It made me a better, football player, but it also made me a better man. And, I'm thankful for those times. Obviously, we don't want to go through injuries as players, but things happen. It's a vicious game that we play. But, just to continue to, take care of my body in the right way every day, just staying on top of my routine. And once I found my routine, the sky's the limit, and I feel good about my body, though.
What's it like coming back from that surgery?
Yeah, man, it's pretty tough. This one's still kind of giving me problems, so it's still kind of broke in a way, but it's okay. It's just one finger. I had two I had to deal with last year, so if you look at it as a positive, I got one to deal with instead of two. But yeah, it's still kind of messed up a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. I'm 100% in my eyes, and I'm ready to go.
Some heat for the picture that you posted on Instagram of your finger cut up.
Yeah, I mean, people were just, that was just mainly just to show the process. You know what I mean? I'm about loving and enjoying the process. And I just wanted everybody to kind of see, what I've been going through, what I've dealt with the past season, and just to understand, who I am as a person and who I am as a player, So obviously that picture was real gruesome, so. But, it's just part of the story. It's part of my why and part of, the reason why I just keep on going.
On paper, it looks like that wide receiving core from the Colts is young without T.Y. Hilton and unproven, but how would you characterize that group?
Yeah, they're physical. Obviously, great playmakers. They all can make plays on the ball. They can run all the routes, and we just have to, go out there and compete. We got to compete at a high level. We got to execute at a high level. We understand that they're going to give their best, so we have to come with our A game. But it's a great group. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Can you tell a difference with this defense at all with so many of you guys now back? I mean, last year there's a lot of newness, and obviously your second year, but I mean, it's a lot of the same guys back, and the way that last year ended and everything. Can you tell the difference now?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can tell that, we're a closer group. We understand our assignments as a whole. We feed off each other. We did some of these things towards the end last year, but we're a lot more comfortable as a group, just flowing around and flying around the ball, making plays, and we're excited. We're looking forward to the challenge.
How do you decide when and when to not pay attention to what people say about your game, like on social media or TV or?
Oh man, I don't get caught up in that, man. I just, as long as my family is happy, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my loved ones back home, my brothers that I grew up with back in grade school, nothing else matters to me, man. I'm not out here to prove anybody wrong. But at the end of the day, you will respect me. You know what I mean? So when it's all said and done, we'll see who has the last laugh.
Get to you, like, not like get you mentally, but like get to your conscience, like so the Blitz Boy thing, like.
But that don't bother me, man. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, Blitz Boy, like, what am I gonna get mad at? I'm not gonna get mad at that. You know what I mean? That's like my nephew, hey, Blitz Boy. You know what I mean? So I don't get caught up in that, man. I stay focused on the task. I understand, what's at stake, and I understand the process. I love the process, and I embrace it. So, for me, if people don't, if everybody just likes you, something's wrong to me. You know what I mean? I'm not out here to, be the most liked guy. I'm here to play ball. I'm here to win Super Bowls.
That stuff out part of your process in high school and college too, or is that something you learned in the pros?
No, I learned it throughout college. Just being at LSU, because obviously, you're there, but you're almost like a mini celebrity in a way. You know what I mean? So you kind of deal with that, and you understand. Hey, everybody's gonna have an opinion whether you're the greatest of all time or you're not. You know what I mean? Everybody still talks about Michael Jordan. Everybody still talks about LeBron. LeBron he creates a school, and people still talking about him. You know what I mean? In a negative way. So it's just the life we live, and it's the world we live in. As a generation. So I just stay focused on the task at hand and focus on my teammates and what matters most.
Both teams are unveiling new look offenses on Sunday. Is there an advantage to either side of that? Like, does defense have an advantage? Does offense have an advantage because it's an element of surprise?
I don't really get into that as well. I just stick to the game plan and understand the type of players they have. They have explosive weapons. A great running game, great offensive line. So we just have to, go out there and play our ball. We can't really get caught up into who has what, who doesn't, who's injured, who's not. We just got to go out there and compete because they're coming to compete as well.
You came here relatively late last year, and then the defense started off poorly. Was there a moment in there or a game or a period where you said, what have I gotten myself into?
No. I mean, we're winning, so. A lot of yards. Yeah. It's not about yards. It's about the win column. You know what I mean? We don't get caught up in that. So at the end of the day, the most important goal is winning.
Do you have a misconception about what safeties are actually asked to do in coverage?
100%. There's no question about it. But, again, not everybody understands the game. And that's not my job to continue to give that. So at the end of the day, I just got to do my job at a high level, continue to be a great teammate, continue to, elevate those around me, continue to win. That's what it's about.
Do you have a thought at all in the NFL that the emphasis on taunting this year, and is that anything you got to worry about? Or?
Yeah, I don't like the rule. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of pushy, soft, if you want to call it, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's the rule. We can't do it. So instead of taunting the player, kind of look away and do what you do. So that's how I look at it. But it's about celebrating with your teammates. You know what I mean? That's where the juice comes from. That's where the energy and everything, the swagger. So, you know, when we make plays, we like to celebrate with each other.
Anything else, guys? Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Amazing. Never thought that I would have this feeling. When you get traded and stuff, you can't even imagine, that happening. You can't even prepare for it. But once I settled in and I was here for about a day or two, it was just like, wow, like I'm really here, really back. It was a good feeling for sure.
Catch you by surprise at all?
It did. I was sitting at dinner, and then my steak just had came out, and then the phone rang at the same time, and I got the phone call, and then I just packed it up to go, lost my appetite, and I was like, yeah, I got to figure out the moving situation, a lot of moving parts, so it shocked me.
Where were you eating at, and who was on the phone calling?
I was at a steakhouse in Jacksonville. GM called.
You ever eat?
I ate appetizers and had 2 drinks to celebrate the end of preseason and camp. So I had a little bit of something that night, but not too much.
What's your level of familiarity with the defense and the technique that they want you to use?
Very familiar. I had Wash last year as a defense coordinator in Jacksonville, so it looks pretty similar. Names are a little bit different, but overall it looks pretty similar. And I used to study Sherm all the time back when I was at UW. So stepping and kicking, all that stuff, all his technique, and Shed too. Used to watch him and all the boys. So all that's very familiar.
Was there a side of the ball you feel more comfortable on? Jacksonville was playing at both.
College, I used to play predominantly left, but throughout my time in the league, I've played right side too, so I've gained comfortability on both sides.
You obviously had some practices here at UW. You were, familiar with the Seahawks, like you said, studying them and everything. Some practices here, but being inside the building, working with these coaches and Coach Carroll a little bit now, what's the feeling like? Just kind of.
Oh, it's been great. I love it here. It's, you can feel the winning culture. You can feel how they do stuff. They have fun, but they also about their business and about their work, and I really love that. Yeah.
What's it been like picking up this defense?
Oh, it's been good. Pretty simple for the most part. I think I learned. I was in the hotel when I first got here, just studying. So pretty much picked it up. But now I'm like actually on the field. It's a whole different type of thing where you have to learn the little details of the coverages and the little adjustments of this and that. So it's been good.
Did you cross paths with Sherman at all, or have you crossed paths with him?
Yeah. It was a crazy story. So I just got drafted. In 2017, I was doing my rehab back at UW, and then I was at Joey's one night, and then he walked in, and all his other teammates, Earl and them, walked in, and then I went. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, and then chopped it up with him, and then was just chilling with him the whole night, and then we did some stuff after too, so it was cool. It was a really good experience.
You played a lot in the slot too, right? Or nickel?
Nickel experience too.
Yeah, with the Eagles.
Yeah.
You kind of feel comfortable everywhere.
Yeah. Predominantly outside, but I'm versatile too.
How do you feel about your career, I guess, so far? Obviously, you have the injury pro day and all that kind of stunned it, I guess, a little bit.
Not how I wanted to start off, obviously. I had high expectations for myself, being that I feel like I'm a great player. But you have bumps in the road, adversity hits, and you have to find a way to combat that and jump over that hoop. So obviously it's been a slow start, but I feel like I made strides last year, and then I hope to continue that going forward.
Prior to your pro day injury, you were considered either the first or second likely quarterback draftee. How can you describe that moment of that injury or that immediate aftermath? What kind of a blow it was, and what you had to recover from to get to at least the second round pick?
When that process was good. It was training. Thought everything was on the rise for me. And then I've never been injured prior to that. Never had any surgeries. Never missed any games in college or anything like that. So when it happened, it was just like I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what a really Achilles injury was, and I just knew when it happened. I think I was in shock until like the doctors told me like what happened in MRI and like the severity of it. I really didn't know. So that I definitely was in shock, but came back a year after. I think it was more, taking that year off and having to find like your rhythm, your body's always in rhythm, in a constant state of finding rhythm. And when you're off for a year and then the Achilles, you have to find that again. It might take a while, but I feel great now.
Are you on the left side now in the defense?
I'm on the right side.
In your mind, are you stepping into the new, defense, learning a new defense and everything? In your mind, though, are you expecting to contribute right away here on Sunday? Is that your plan?
Oh, for sure. I'm here to compete. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to win. So I keep it simple.
Is that I mean, obviously you got traded pretty late in the game. Is that, you said there's a lot of familiarity in the defense, but is that difficult at all, joining a team that quickly and then trying to get on the field like 10 days later or whatever? Or?
I think I've had a decent amount of time to learn it, and then just a week's practice will, do some good. But over time, it'll just get better and better and better.
Where did you watch the Seahawks Super Bowl win? I assume you did. And what was your impression of the defense at that point?
The Super Bowl when they won?
Yeah, 43-8 over Denver.
I might have been in. Tell me what year that was again.
2013.
Okay, I was still in high school in California.
You remember watching it?
I do, but not. It's kind of a long time ago, but I do remember watching it for sure.
Anybody else? Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.